Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Actually, good morning because not even afternoon, but it feels like it because I feel like I've been up for a while. So I know that this thing with the demonizing myself, demonizing the antibiotics, synthetic as well as natural when it comes to healing the body is kind of like, me being a little hypocritical. And it's not that I'm demonizing it, it's just the fact that the intention and the use of the turmeric and the honey, hey, Caroline, and all the different kombuchas and the gingers and all that stuff, the use for it is why I am demonizing it. There is nothing inherently wrong with turmeric and ginger and honey and kombucha and apple cider vinegar. It's not poisonous. However, the way it's being used to manage and combat cancer, disease, and chronic illness is the difference. So I'm going to tag Sarah with them in here. Sarah with them. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. So this young lady, Sarah, saw one of my posts about colloidal silver and then saw the meme that showed the pictures of natural antibiotics. What does it show? Let me read it off so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Okay. Oops. So I said, do not use these with the intention to battle the viruses. It will assist the virus to destroy your already weak body. Antibiotic is anti-life. So you've seen these memes where it says nature's 11 most powerful antibiotics. Well, if you're not going to use synthetic antibiotics like Cipro in the pharmaceutical world, why the hell would you go to natural antibiotics? Oh, because it's natural? Well, take away the word natural and you break it down to its elementary state, to its elemental state. It's actually either very acidic, very heavy metal, okay, lots and lots of imbalances in heavy metals and acids. And everything is broken down to either a fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals. So when you're seeing somebody take massive amounts of vitamin C infusions, that's a massive amount of hormone replacement therapy. When someone takes massive amounts of colloidal silver, that's basically heavy metal toxicity. Okay, when someone takes massive amounts of turmeric and ginger, okay, that is massive amounts of heavy metal toxicity, because when you actually break it down, it's not only very, very spicy and very, very aggressive on your body, but it also will cause more imbalances in your minerals, your hormones, your amino acids, and fatty acids, especially with the intention to suppress the symptoms, because you're supposed to be pouring mucus out of your body. Your body's supposed to release mucus, and you're supposed to be releasing poop. And when you're taking something like kombucha, which is highly acidic, okay, so kombucha is when you're fermenting something that is sugar, like a fruit sugar, okay, or you're doing like something like a vinegar, like acetic acid, which is very, very highly acidic, okay? And so when you already have, acid imbalances, so let's say you have all the probiotics in the fermented apple cider vinegar and the fermented kombucha, and then you have the sugar acids, okay, and you have the probiotic acids, because lactic acid, now you're basically acidifying your body, causing and punching holes in your kid's gut and your gut. And so when you already have acid imbalances, taking more acids on top of that, no, Michelle, taking acids on top of that is then to cause more imbalances, more antibodies that are going to clog up the arteries and capillaries, and then cause heart attacks, strokes, as well as leaving you open for viruses to destroy your body. Anything herbal, anything that you see, you guys need to get my book. We do not want people to be utilizing chai tea, herbal tea, turmeric, honey, colloidal silver. Honey is antibiotic, and it's not something you should be digesting because it's not digestible. You should not be taking habanero peppers, oregano oil, none of the freaking oils. Hell no. None of the herbs in with the intention to suppress your healing process. Do you realize that these traditional remedies, like in China, are causing them to basically drop like flies in freaking China? You know how old China is? Do you know how old China is? Thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And they use Chinese herbs. And guess what? Those herbs aren't helping them. The acupuncture is not helping them. If you want to see an example of a country, of a society that has utilized herbs for centuries, traditional herbs for centuries, dropping like flies with an aggressive virus in the environment, you want to end up like the Chinese out there? If you're not doing J juice, Michelle Barcia, if you're not doing J juice and you're sticking to the chai teas and the herbs and all of the turmerics and the honeys and the freaking traditional remedies, you're not going to get the healing. You're going to basically destroy your body. And that's exactly what the holistic community is doing. When you're doing exercise regimes and you're causing your body to go into more inflammatory responses because you're exercising to such an extent, you're causing more antibiotic acquisition and more lactic acid imbalances because you're not bringing in the balancing force, which is the right kind of the salt, then matched with the cabbage and kale fermented down to a pre-digested state so you can release the excess antibodies that you've been harboring and then fix the weaknesses. So when Sarah goes, it's so confusing with all the stuff out there saying it's good for you and bad for you, it's all relative to what the intention is. Do you realize that the holistic world, people are trying to suppress your immune system so you don't feel pain? Why do you think they turn to freaking cannabis? So you can be a zombie and completely leave yourself open and not feel anything until some aggressive virus goes and attacks you, and then by that time it's too freaking late. Okay? So, you need to read my book, Michelle. You need to read my book. Okay? You guys got to understand that, if you're going to go off the protocol and here's the thing, you guys have addictions. You guys have addictions, and I can't tell you to get away from your addictions. If you're not going to do the JJs at the level that you should, you're going to be still addicted. You're still going to be playing with the holistic games. You're not going to lose your weight. You're not going to have any kind of healing process because you're going to suppress it with all of your trendy shit. Okay? So, you can ask me all the questions in the world, but you know what? You ultimately have to do the freaking protocol. Okay, you're going to have to do the freaking protocol and see how your cravings are going to be. If you are addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, sugar, and all these things, and you're going to find that it's so hard for you to get off it cold turkey, then drink the J juice and wean yourself off until you actually can afford to take something without turning on the faucet and it not being turned off. I can drink coffee now and not affect me to where I'm like buzzing for centuries. But if you have weaknesses, you can't afford to, at this point, drink a bunch of stuff. But if you're addicted to certain drugs, and I can't tell you to get off your prescription drugs, if you're addicted to coffee to where you need it to function, do what you got to do. But you got to wean yourself off of it until you heal and seal, and then you can start reintroducing foods back in your diet. So I can't tell you what you should do and not do. You have to do the protocol and you will figure it out. Mucus and shit and all that stuff is going to be your barometer to let you know where your imbalances lay within. And then you're going to have to figure out what you have to do. And if you're not seeing the healing, and you're not seeing the weight drop, and you're not seeing anything improve, then obviously you're off the diet and you're not taking care of business. You're still playing in those games out there. And that's what I deal with. People are like, oh, I can go off the diet and I can do this and I can do that. And then they wonder why they're not getting healing. They don't want to change the salt from the pink to the white salt because it's too aggressive. Well, I understand. And I did heal on the pink salt, but maybe I could have healed faster. And maybe I'll get to the next level with the white salt. But if you're taking apple cider vinegar and turmeric and honey and colloidal silver and you have imbalances in your fatty acid, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals, and you're taking inordinate amounts of colloidal silver, inordinate amounts of freaking mercury, if you're taking in inordinate amounts of all of these trendy supplements and herbs and extracts and kombuchas, you're going to cause more imbalances in your fatty acids, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals. Okay? And then what's going to happen is you're going to punch holes. See, when mothers give their kids freaking kombucha and elderberry syrup, you know how much acid is in that? Elderberry syrup and kombucha and apple cider vinegar is so highly acidic, and you give it to a child that has a very sensitive gut anyways, you're going to cause them more adverse issues today as well as in the future. You're going to cause them to have a destruction because of the acid imbalances in their whole Silk Road, which is the alimentary canal. When you're drinking mass amounts of alcohol, kombucha, apple cider vinegar, honey, turmeric, colloidal silver, what else? Spicy stuff like habanero peppers, cayenne pepper, you're going to cause more imbalances and more antibodies that will then clog up your arteries and capillaries. And if you already have weaknesses in your vital organs, guess what? They start shutting down. And then you get exposed to an aggressive virus in the environment, like the coronavirus. Now you have more of the rapid antibody accumulation on top of all of your little trendy shit that you guys are doing. And it's going to make you even weaker. You can't avoid the jelly juice. You can't. If you want to avoid the jelly juice and take little tiny bits and that's it, and you're doing more of your trendy stuff, you're not going to get the benefit. And I already see it now. Those are like, oh, I'm doing jelly juice, but they're only doing tiny bit. And they're totally appalled by the fact they changed the salt and say it's so gross and so this. I'm going to tell you, if you can't handle the pink Himalayan salt jelly juice and taking it at the level that you should, like I did, there's no fucking way you're going to be able to graduate to the white salt. There's no freaking way. So if people have an issue with the white salt, then you're not even doing the pink salt correctly with the jelly juice. Okay? So I've basically kind of baby stepped you guys without even knowing it. I've baby stepped you from the pink salt to where you're getting this mild healing. It's not crazy aggressive, but now we have more of an aggressive environment. You can't afford to freaking baby yourself with the freaking pink salt anymore. Now you have to graduate to the big boys, because now we're dealing with the big boy environment. And a lot of you are not going to survive it, or you're going to be taken down a major notch, if not already. And so, you know, Sarah with them, she's been on my Facebook forever. She was introduced to this protocol a long time ago and then fell off and went back into the holistic world. And now her and her crowd in LA are going to have to deal with these major viruses, and they're all into the trendy stuff. Okay, they're all into the trendy holistic remedies and the kombuchas and the elderberry syrup and the, oh, I'm so anti-vax. Holy hell, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. Like, I don't want to convince her, but I'm going to answer her question. Whether or not she takes my advice or not, and she wants to still stay with the traditional old remedies that China created, and look at China's being taken down by a virus. You want to end up like them, Sarah? And I did all the Chinese herbs back when I was in San Francisco for my PMDD, and it made things worse. I did all the herbs and the detoxes, the Chinese stuff, because I was told by somebody, hey, you know, you have PMDD, and this is like back in like 2003. And I'm trying to find something to deal with my PMDD. Eventually I went to Kaiser to get some kind of relief, and they said, oh yeah, here's some Prozac. Take some Prozac in lieu of the Chinese herbs, which didn't do shit for me. But I was like, you know, I'm not doing Prozac either. I'll just deal with it. Okay? And so, yeah, you guys need to just keep up with, let me tell you, my information comes, things change, but the protocol hasn't really changed, just the salt has changed. You guys have to keep up with my information, because I'm telling you, this environment is very aggressive, and I am evolving faster than most of you are even keeping up. The reason why you guys aren't evolving is because you're not doing the JJs at the level that you should. You're still stuck in the trendy world out there, trying to, you know, keep up with everybody else's stuff and doing whatever. And, you know, you're not actually doing the JJs because you're not even seeing the results of it. You're not, I mean, I don't see enough of you guys as testimonies because you're not doing it, or you're doing little tiny bits and that's it. And so probably the reason why is because it's a freaking pink salt. The heavy metals or trace minerals in the pink salt has stagnated your ability to heal, because you can't even handle the taste of it, for one. And so you're not going to do as much. And so then, but people who are going to be like, okay, I'm fucking, you know, I'm so like, you know, gung-ho, and so, you know, every, you know, feet first and all that stuff. They're drinking the JJs like it was like water, and they're getting the benefit, and they're drinking a lot. And so, so yes, George. And so they're drinking a lot. So now they can do the white salt. Now they can do the white salt, and it'll be easier, and they won't have to drink as much because it'll be that much more powerful. So I've actually primed you with the pink salt to be able to handle the white salt. You don't want to end up like the Chinese, Michelle, and you know that. You know that. And then George saying, it looks like if you look at the Indians, they use turmeric and everything. So over years, it accumulates of heavy. Yeah, look at, they're aging like rapidly. They're aging rapidly. You look at them, they're aging rapidly. Don't get caught up in the trendy shit out there. I'm telling you. You don't want to end up like the people over there in the Philippines, in in India, in China. You don't want to end up like them, because they got taken down. So the people who are able to be in that environment of that virus are people who have strong immune systems and strong bodies. But down the road, when their body starts degrading, that coronavirus mixed in with other viruses in the environment is going to have more exotic diseases. Okay, so the pink salt kind of gave you guys the groundwork to see if you can handle the J juice and drink as much as you can and get the waterfalls. But the white salt's going to be what is going to be the difference in the timing of the waterfalls, the timing of the healing process. You're going to take it up a notch, because remember, all the trace minerals that are in the pink salt is in the tap water. So you're not going to be using distilled water. You're not going to be using reverse osmosis water. You're going to be using straight up tap water, highly mineralized tap water with the salt, the sodium chloride, the white salt, with the anti-caking agent, with the cabbage and kale, and then it's fermented down to a pre-digested state. So you get the lactic acid, you get the micro and macronutrition and the prohormones from the fermented cabbage, because cabbage has prohormones. It has vitamin C. People are taking these freaking vitamin C infusions or using it as combating this virus and doing UV therapy and shit. They're going to cause they're going to cause kidney stones. They're going to cause so many issues, but you're seeing it out there. You're seeing them, recommending colloidal silver and high doses of vitamin C. There is so much vitamin C in the cabbage and kale, you don't have to turn to freaking ascorbic acid. But then they're like, oh yeah, instead of doing the vitamin C therapy infusions, just eat some fresh fruits and vegetables. Well, if that were the case, then people who are eating vegan and vegetarian, organic, would be living indefinitely. And they're not. You know why? Because they have malabsorption, or they have imbalances in their fatty acids, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals. And then those who are doing exercise regimes and selling their exercise regimes on the internet are causing more damage to their body, causing more stress, causing more lactic acid imbalances and antibody accumulation, and weakening their heart and lungs and vital organs, causing more predispositions, and they're passing that along to their kid. I'm watching people right now that are basically destroying themselves with trendy shit. But I can't tell them this. You know why? Because they're anti-vax or trendy. California, they think they know everything, and they're basically going to be probably the first state that's going to be having major checkpoints and quarantines because of how imbalanced and how trendy and holistic they are. Oh, this is going to be insane to watch. And you guys now have first knowledge of this stuff, and you've been primed for the last 3 years with my information. You've been primed with the pink salt. Now we're graduating to the white salt. And now I want to see some freaking testimony from you guys, but I'm not seeing enough. You know why? Because you're not taking enough. You've been you've been taking it for granted, like, oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen. If something happens, then I'll just take J juice. But by that time, it's going to be really, really harder than to heal, because you have been doing a little bit here and there. You're not taking it seriously. I took it seriously even with the pink salt, as if it was like my life. It was. And now, actually today I'm going to be making with my white salt, but I have done the white salt and it was very salty way back in the beginning. Okay? Way back when everyone's afraid of the salt and the sodium and they're trying to demonize it. And then for me to even get this across to anybody out there, I had to basically, stay with the pink salt, because people accepted that over the white salt. Okay, fine. I'll do whatever I got to do so you guys can feel comfortable, and then we can see the proof of the healing. We see proof of the healing. It's not exponential. I mean, it probably is, but I think it could be faster. I think it could be more energetic. And I could have healed in 2 years on the white salt versus the 4 years on the pink salt, because of all those excess minerals in the pink salt. And I was paying more. So now we're making this even simpler. You can get your white salt locally. You need to stay away from all of those damn remedies out there. They're destroying your children and you going to make you even more of a sitting duck with this aggressive virus, whether it's influenza A, B, as well as the coronavirus, COVID-19. This shit's no joke. Okay? This shit is no joke. And so, you know, you have to heal the alimentary canal. And the natural and synthetic antibiotics are going to destroy your alimentary canal. Okay? Your natural and synthetic antibiotics used in reference to cancer, disease, and chronic illness is going to destroy your Silk Road. What, sugar? You want to go out? Oh my God, my dog. You want to get out here? Okay. Then you can't bark to come back in. My dog. Okay? So you guys need to really pay attention to the healing process. Change over from the pink salt to the white salt. Get the faster healing. Okay? And realize that, you know, the train has left the station. There are a lot of you with major predispositions. You have family and friends with predispositions that are going to be dropping like flies. Okay? And you're going to have to expect it. You have got to be the example. You have got to be the example of healing and sealing with no fear of any of this stuff. But you have to get off the trendy remedies. If there's any example of what not to do as far as herbs and extracts and traditional remedies, China should be the #1 thing of what not to do when it comes to acupuncture, herbs, extracts, traditional remedies, and, you know, all the things that they do as far as alternative types of healing in the Asian world, the Eastern world. Because right now, China is dropping like flies. So that should be one hell of an indicator that people are ignoring. Oh, it's traditional. I mean, what'd you say? Because it's so confusing. Explain how turmeric and ginger, those are heavy metals. They're very spicy, aggressive. Apple cider vinegar are bad for you. I have zero clue if they are or not. They are fucking bad for you, especially when the way you're using it. Now, right now, you know, now that I'm healed and sealed for the most part, am I going to turn to turmeric and apple cider vinegar and ginger? I might use turmeric. Actually, you know what? I don't even eat Indian food. I had Indian food a couple months back, and I felt like I was drunk, because the amount of spices, the amount of poison I put in my body caused major imbalances, caused so many antibodies to build up because of the imbalances that I have no desire for Indian food. Okay, so, you know, I don't even use turmeric to spice my food, or really ginger at all. I use salt and I use pepper and maybe a little bit of garlic, and that's it. I have no desire to use apple cider vinegar except to clean with, but even that I don't even use it. If I want to unclog my sink, I'll use apple cider vinegar and baking soda. That's a great thing to unclog your sink. But will I drink it? Oh, hell no. Fuck no. There's no reason for it now that I'm healed and sealed. Okay, so, you know, I mean, when she goes like, and you're especially in ancient healing practices, yeah, ancient healing practices, and you look at these gurus that are like old as dirt, decrepit. Okay, so if you want to see where you're going to end up as far as ancient remedies, go look at China. I can give you all the evidence of the world that the herbs and these ancient practices of a country that's been around for thousands of years is not working very well at all. Okay, so if you want to know what indicators are, look at China. All roads lead to freaking China. Okay, so so the reason why people are confused is because they want to be drugged, they want to be anesthetized, they want to be basically not feeling any pain. They don't want to feel any kind of symptoms. They want to suppress the healing process. They want to kill off the mucus. You need to release the mucus. You need to release the poop. All of the mucus in your poop hold antibodies that is causing all of your issues. Okay, anytime you've been exposed to a virus, and when you get like a vaccine or exposed to a virus, this is where it's not going to make a difference whether or not you're exposed to a virus or a vaccine, because your body is going to be basically taking on antibodies. And if you have a weak body, then those antibodies are going to do a number on you. And so it's not going to matter. Now you have to basically strengthen your body. And if you don't strengthen your body, then you're going to be a sitting duck for anything and everything that's out there. Okay. And that's kind of sad, but that's the state. That's the basically the crux of the matter. Sheila, why are you laughing, Sheila? Why are you laughing? I'm like, who the hell is laughing right now? Okay. You shouldn't be laughing. You need to do the J juice. Get off the herbs and the extracts. I thought it was a troll that was laughing at me. I was about to block the troll, but it's a Sheila. And Sheila's been doing this, but I don't know to what extent now. But yes, you need to get off the herbs, the extracts. Okay? You need to stop taking the colloidal silver. Don't be doing the UV light ray therapy. None of that stuff is going to work with viruses. Viruses you have to adapt to or not adapt to. Those are your only two choices. And so if there's any indicator, okay, Sheila, all right. All roadlies, yeah. Okay, well, I just don't, you gotta let me know what you're referencing, okay? But yes, you know, you gotta look at the indicators. The indicators are the fact that it's all good. The indicators are the fact that people are dropping like flies from the amount of imbalances and then the wrong chemistry they're applying to their body. Okay, very good, Sheila Brooks, Sheila Rollins, all obvious, awesome. Okay, but change the salt, Sheila. Change the salt. Sheila Brooks and Sheila Rollins. Don't worry. I just see these laughing things and I'm like, what the heck? Okay. So yeah, I mean, I feel bad for those that are still on the herbs and the extracts. They're still selling their oregano oil and all of that. I feel bad for them because they're destroying their immune system. They're destroying it and they don't even know it. So when a virus comes into their environment, they're going to be a sitting duck. They're going to be a major sitting duck. And so you got to almost let them just destroy themselves. And when someone asks me the question, they take the time and go on my Facebook to ask the question. I know they've been around. I will take the time because I do give a shit about them. I really do. Sarah has been around since the beginning, but she has fallen off. But she's coming back on because she's seeing some of these posts and it triggered her to ask the question. Whether she's going to believe me or not going to make a difference. You know, you guys are going to be the ones to determine your own fate and your own future. You will be the ones to determine that. I can only give you so much information and then the rest is up to you. And they're saying in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a major flood of stuff. I already see people, I'm seeing people saying like their friends in the hospital, they've died, the flu hit their household. You know, I mean, it's here, you guys. It's already here. Okay. And so, yeah, essential oils for soaps is fine. I mean, here's the thing, you know, all of the holistic stuff as far as the bath products, great. I use conventional, I use holistic, I don't really care, you know, it's all good. Okay. But when it comes to taking things in your body, it should not be something like a natural antibiotic or a synthetic antibiotic. It needs to be something like an energizing force, like the white salt, like a white salt. And with the cabbage and the kale and the water, and it has to be fermented, okay? And then you are going to drink it, and you're going to feel everything the body needs to basically reconstruct. You're going to feel the cell regeneration. And those that want to still be drugged, they will take their herbs, their cannabis, their antibiotics, all of their painkillers. And that's awesome, Carolyn. I can't wait to try the white salt. I'm a completely different person since I started JJ. Yeah. But you guys are going to see your friends are going to be turning to all of these things that are going to be completely, and I'm in these groups where they're recommending the colloidal silver and the UV rays and all that stuff. So, okay. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to use reverse osmosis water because you don't drink tap water, fine. That's fine. But I can drink tap water, and with the J juice, it's not going to be an issue. Okay. But you guys, no matter what, whether you reverse osmosis or you drink distilled, which you shouldn't, or tap water, or, you know, water that's been like in your well, the J juice is going to destroy any bacteria and then also give you the minerals in the salt, in the water, in the cabbage and the kale in your environment. Okay, I know some of you have preferences because who knows what your tap water is like. You could be in Flint, Michigan, okay, for all I know. So if you have to use reverse osmosis water, fine. If you have to use filtered water, fine. If you have to use bottled water, fine. Okay, but I use, I mean, the water here in my county is relatively clean. I see the minerals that sometimes coagulate, you know, if I don't clean properly, and they do leave water spots. It's just minerals that my body can take in and release when it needs to. Okay, so you're gonna find that the J juice with the white salt and with the water that's not distilled is going to be completely amazing, and it's going to really jump you to the next level, because it only can. I mean, when you actually have 1% extra sodium chloride, that's going to really give you more energy than you've had already. You know, remember, when something is so sweet and so salty, okay, you see the energy from that. You guys are like, oh my God, that's so salty. Oh my God, that's so sweet. So you react to it, okay? And so so that reaction, it needs to be now in your body. And then when you need to balance out those minerals and the sodium and the sugar and all that, that's when the water comes into play. Whenever I had like some cake yesterday and it was like really sweet. So what do? I drank like a shot of my J juice. Sometimes, here's the thing too, okay, guys, just, you know, this is where I want to give you some clues on this stuff. When you're doing the J juice with the white salt, yeah, if you have like a little bit of Coke or you have some fruit juice, knock it back with some fruit juice or with some Coke, because it gives you a nice balance of, it's like electrolytes. You're getting the salt and the sugar, the glucose and the sodium chloride. You're getting the electrolytes. You're getting the water. Okay, so you're taking, like, you know, an IV bag and you're drinking your IV bag. Okay, so when you do like a sweet, you know, back from, you know, like a sweet back, like a water back or a juice back or whatever back, when you're doing the J juice, is perfectly fine. Okay, because remember, Coke can be broken down to sugar and elements, okay, and acids, like phosphoric acid. Fruit juice can be broken down to sugars, okay. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you guys drinking straight fruit juice all the time, but if you're doing, you know, J juice, let's say you're doing like 2 cups of J juice and you want to have a little bit of sweet in the background to kind of help offset it, do it. Okay, so it's no different than taking an IV bag full of glucose and sodium chloride and potassium and magnesium and whatever else is in those IV bags. And then you're also getting the probiotics and then the micro and macronutrition that you're not getting in the IV bag. So you're getting like a major awesome chemistry process. Okay, so yeah, there's some changes, and I want to make it as easy as possible for you guys, but also give you the right chemistry. Okay, and then you're getting better chemistry because you're getting everything fermented down, and you're getting the probiotic and you're getting the micro and macronutrition. And so that's how we can make it easy, so it's not so like, oh my God. But you guys got to step it up. You got to step it up. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing actually this afternoon is cutting up my purple cabbage and making it with the white salt. I'm only using the pink salt for seasoning the food, and I'm going to use the white salt as my chili juice fermentation. And once that's done, I'm going to show you, I mean, I'm not like you're going to know the difference when you look at the juice, but it will, I can assure you it's going to be saltier, far more energetic than you've ever had before. And that's okay. Okay. So, but just anything as far as the colloidal silvers and all that stuff, the natural antibiotics, stay away from them. If you go to the hospital because of an infection and they give you synthetic antibiotics, take your meds. Though Paul Jones said that he had like a toothache or tooth issue and he didn't do the antibiotics, but his body was able to do it. That's fine. Some of you don't have what it takes to be able to heal on your own. And so you need to have something like antibiotics to stabilize you. And then you do the J juice. Or you can see the reason why they use salt water. Okay. Well, here's the thing, Michelle, get the 99%, get the Morton salt. At least it's 1%. 1% anti-caking agent, 99% sodium chloride. But whenever someone does sodium chloride, like look at my Facebook, you can see the type of salt. Okay. Anytime somebody does a sodium chloride salt water flush around the mouth to kill infection, It's because it activates the immune system to then retrieve the minerals and the nutrients to go and destroy the infection and heal the wound. However, some people don't have enough of the minerals in their body, and that salt water isn't enough to destroy the infection really at the root level because they don't have enough, and so it doesn't really work on them. So this is why you do the jade juice as like a saltwater flush or a flush as far as tooth infections, is because the jade juice has not only the electrolytes to go and activate the nutrients and the minerals, but now you're also getting the pro-hormones, the macro and macronutrition, as well as the water and the probiotic to even better support the infection in your mouth. Okay, but that's the reason why salt water was used to wash out your mouth versus some like oil or something. Okay, because salt water is an activating. I mean, water is a conductor, salt is an energy source, and those two together are amazing. Look at the ocean. Okay, so but now you're getting even more of a powerhouse because of the probiotic and the micro and macronutrition. So yeah, when people are using the apple cider vinegar, all it does is overwhelms the system with more acid to suppress the healing, and that's it. But then you've caused more issues anyways. So you don't want to turn to anything that's highly acidic like apple cider vinegar or kombucha, especially if you already have acid imbalances. Okay, and so that's why you have the lactic acid and the probiotic, the salt, the electrolytes, and the micro macronutrition, and then you have the protocol that has the glucose, and then you can knock back, you know, after you drink your glass of the juice with the white salt with some kind of fruit juice. Okay, and so anyways, if you want to know any indicators of what not to do as far as herbs and traditional remedies, look to China. Look to China. China is the indicator of what not to do when it comes to traditional remedies and herbs. Have a good day. Bye.